Alrighty, welcome to birth story part 3. This will be the last part. So baby girl came out. Once they got all of the fluid out of her lungs, she started crying and she immediately started lifting her head up, which was crazy. And they cleaned her all up, gave her right back to me. They took her weight and she was 8 pounds, 2.9 ounces. I pretty much ate 3, which is right around where I guessed. I had guessed that she was going to be 8 pounds, 5 ounces. My husband thought she was going to be like a pound less, like 7 pounds, 5 ounces. And so then we got to do some skin to skin time and she immediately took to the breast. So she had no problems latching right away, which was awesome and very relieving because I know a lot of people have issues with that. And so we did our skin to skin time. And then after a little while after I went to the bathroom for the first time, just pee, Stephen was holding her, and then we got transitioned into the mother and baby room where we were gonna be for the next day or so. Rewind back to me pushing her out. This was a lot for my husband to take in. So at this point, the nurses were helping me labor and he was there. He was like holding my hand, supporting me. But he was definitely, when I was actually pushing her out, he started to get weak in the knees and he didn't pass out or faint, but he was getting very kind of lightheaded. And so it was a lot, it was just like a rush of emotion. And so because he got so lightheaded, by the time I delivered, he needed to sit down, and they gave him some apple juice, and they made sure that he was okay, because that's the first time that that's ever happened to him. It was just a lot. As labor, I'm watching someone go through that. I couldn't even see it, I'm going through it, but I couldn't see it. And I guess just seeing it was a lot for him. So we had to sit down. But after 10-15 minutes of him sitting down, he was good to go. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. It's definitely a lot for our partners to see, especially if they've never, seen it before. First time dads out there. And then once we got transitioned to our room where we were going to be settled in, I just continued to hold baby girl and do some more skin to skin. I tried to feed her some more, and then she was doing a lot of cluster feeding for the first day, a ton. She was actually literally awake. She did not sleep for pretty much the first 12 hours of her life. I'm sure she was doing some sleeping in and out when she was nursing, but it was crazy. It's like when she came out and her eyes opened, they did not close for 12 hours, which I was not expecting. So we were very, very tired. But finally, when we got her down, she did a long stretch of sleep for 4.5 hours so we could get some sleep. And the nurses said that that was okay because she had fed so much throughout the first 12 hours of her life that it made sense that she did a long stretch of sleep. They took her labs, and they did the hearing test and all of those things. We were only there for, I would say, a day and a half before we got to come home, which was nice. She did test positive for, I believe it's called Crohn's disease, or just called Crohn's. Yeah. Anyway, which wasn't a big or a huge deal. It's just those who test positive, babies who test positive for that, are more prone to getting jaundice and kind of struggling with jaundice. Is essentially there was a conflict between our blood during delivery. So some of my blood conflicted with some of her blood, and yeah, so it causes this I am no doctor, but that is from my understanding what yeah, that kind of does. So it gives them a harder time to eliminate that bilirubin from their system. And so at this point, even though she's 3 weeks, she still has like maybe the tiniest amount of jaundice in the whites of her eyes. And sometimes in different lighting, she looks a little bit more yellow, especially when she wears yellow. But for the most part, it's gone. And we've gone to several appointments since taking her home, and the pediatrician is not concerned. It looks like it's going down at a good pace. And on her first appointment, which we had the day after we got back home, so very soon, she had lost about 5 or 6 ounces, and which is totally normal. And then by the next week, because they literally had us go back 4 days after that first appointment just to check in on the jaundice, she had already gained all of that weight back plus an additional ounce on top of her original birth weight. So within 4 days, she was already past her birth weight. So that at that point, we could stop doing the 2 to 3 hour feedings and just let her wake us up and let us know when she was hungry. So that was really reassuring that we were doing everything right. The first week I was super engorged. At the first week I felt like I was overproducing to the point it was just so painful, which is very normal when your milk comes in. So it makes sense. She was just eating a ton because I had such a large supply and she was just so hungry. So yeah, that was the first week. And since then, she's been doing really well, and she is already almost 10 pounds. Last time we checked, we have a little scale now at home. She was like 9.8 ounces, something like that. So she's doing really well. She's gaining weight appropriately, even though I feel like my supply has gone down significantly from the first week. I'm trying lots of things, power pumping. I tried fenugreek capsules, as well as just continuing to feed her more, pumping after each feeding session, just completely empty out my breasts. And so it seems like within the last day, my supply has increased. So it looks like things are working, and she's gaining weight appropriately, so I'm not worried about it. I'm just glad that she is fed. That is what is most important. Like I said, her jaundice is pretty much fully gone. She does sleep really well at night for the most part. She only wakes up about 2 times, which is amazing for her age. So she sleeps about anywhere from like 3 to 4.5 hour stretches of time. And she will also sleep that long, like in the car seat when we're going out and about, as long as she's fed and changed. She loves sleeping in her car seat. But yeah, at night we're doing 2 wake up sessions. We have been doing some combination feeding, like I said, because I've been pumping. So my husband will feed her from the bottle for the first wake up period at night, and then I'll do nursing pretty much the rest of the time. Sometimes we'll give her another bottle throughout the day, but she doesn't really normally drink from the bottle more than 1 to 2 times a day. The rest is all directly from the breast. So I'm glad that that's working. It has been really challenging because she cluster feeds so much. So I just like a lot of the times feel like all I'm doing is feeding her, and you know, that's just the period. I think she's going through another growth spurt in this 3-week period of time. I mean, she's gonna be growing for quite some time. So that makes sense. We'll see. I'm just gonna do my best with it. But yeah, baby girl is healthy. I'm healthy. I'm feeling pretty good for the most part. Like I said, it's been an adjustment for sure. Going from not being a mom to being a mom, and like having this human that I'm responsible for other than myself. And we love her to death. We're so happy to have her as an addition to our little family, and can't wait to see all the phases that she's gonna go through when she can start like communicating with us and smiling back at us, because right now it's pretty much just reflexes. And when she just like forms more of a personality. Obviously right now she's in the newborn stage, so there's only so much we can do. We've been doing some tummy time, and I've been reading some books with her.